Andy, as always, thank you for your time. Just looking back at the weekend, unfortunately, it's a rarity, but not a positive one for us at all.
So it is a rarity, eh? Look, weirdly enough, I've got the stats back from the game, which doesn't help or doesn't make me feel any better. But it kind of, it wasn't great. I think I was quite honest about that. But actually, the shots they had and the entries in the box, they was clinical in every single department of that. That said, we still got beat 5-0, Matt, and it was a day that I don't want to repeat in my time as a manager anywhere, let alone here. But we have to move on, draw a line under it, and there was some learning out of it as well, not just for me, for the team. And for the football club, I think, we don't want to learn like that, but sometimes you've got to take some positives out of a negative day at the office, and there's been a lot of positives that probably people wouldn't understand, but certainly there's been a lot of positives out of that result.
Deji Laraway was missing on the day. How is he at the moment?
Deji's okay. Deji's okay. We're at a stage of the season where we've got to be a little bit careful with Deji. So we have to maybe be a little bit more cautious at certain times with games coming thick and fast. Obviously, again, the weekend. So we just have to be, just for this period, we've got to make sure we listen to the sports science people and the physios and Deji, really. But he's okay, there's no injuries like that. But we just got to make sure we just use him at the right time and the right place, and obviously he listens to his body at this moment in time after that lengthy injury. But other than that, all okay.
And just touching on Deji, actually, interesting point you raised there. It was a really difficult few months for him while he was out injured, and physically and mentally, but he's come back towards the new year. How do you feel he's done since he's returned from that injury?
Yeah, I think psychologically it takes a bit of time with any injury, when you've had a reoccurring injury, and you have to manufacture your training a little bit. You can't really let yourself go. I think Deji's done really well with that, and I think the medical team and everyone at the club, sports science, have done really well with Deji. We have to listen to them, and I know some people might not understand that. We won't see the best of Deji, in my opinion. Not that we haven't seen the best, but I think a good pre-season now is what Deji needs in his lock-up. He needs a break, a good pre-season, and then we'll see the Deji of old, week in, week out. I'm pretty sure of that.
The result on Saturday, not something we're used to. How do you approach that going into a new week with another game coming up? Well,
you have to address it. We had to address it on Monday. I think it would have been wrong not to address it, and I think we have to be honest with each other, me included. I don't ever take myself out of that. It's never the players and the players and me are separate. No, I'm as much to blame and questionable myself. I question myself, and we go through it, and we do that. We're honest. We have to be, and then you've got to draw a line under it. You have to, and then you've got to make sure that you tailor the rest of the week to make sure that it's positive and we're kind of on the right page again. Again, we've done so many fundamentals wrong, and the reason why I do not know. I don't know, but we've addressed that, and hopefully the fundamentals will be all back on track, and we'll be ready to go this Friday.
Talking of Friday, the visitors, Morecambe, a side who'll be desperate for the points for different reasons than Port Vale, and had a frustrating result on Saturday, but prior to that they'd hit a good bit of form.
Yeah, look, we cannot get sucked into any of that. We just can't. We went up to Carlisle and they were apparently in a bad run of luck on bottom of the table. It's irrelevant. These teams are fighting for their lives. And I must keep saying, these teams are established teams in this league compared to us. So we can't get caught up in that. We can't get caught up in it's going to be an easy game. We can't get caught up in it. We're at home. We should win easy. Absolutely no chance. They got an experienced manager who will be galvanising his team to get a result. And I'm sure their side of the fence, they'll be thinking we've got nothing to play for. Etc. etc. We have got something to play for, and that's putting some rights that we've got wrong the weekend and making sure that we give this crowd something to cheer about again. So we'll be all guns blazing ready for this game, and certainly won't be taking Morecambe lightly.
broken in the news this week, the club's first season in the EFL, and it's been brilliant to see yourself nominated for EFL Manager of the Year in League Two, and similarly for Michael Cheek as Player of the Year in League Two. What does that mean to you?
I think, for me personally, it's always nice. You want to get recognised, because there are days you wonder whether people do realise what you've done and that. But like I said all along, mate, it really isn't about me. It's about the football club, and I'm more happy the football club's getting recognised for what's happened this season and last a little bit. So that's really the most important thing. The Bromley Football Club keeps getting recognised, and that's very important. On the flip side of that, Michael Cheek, I mean, yeah, wow, he deserves to be recognised. I mean, what he's done has been phenomenal, and I hope he's recognised a little bit more than he was last time when we had one of these award nights, because I think he really deserves it.
And we talk about the match being on Friday. It's obviously Easter weekend, so an Easter double and lots of training in between. There's no rest, is there? No
rest. Look, I always think Easter's an important. These bank holiday weekend games, these sort of periods are very important. There's always a few funny results. There's always changes of team and personnel, and there's 6 points up grabs, really quickly. So we've got to make sure that we're bang on it for these two games. And then see where we are come sort of Monday night.
Andy, as always, thank you for your time.
Thank you.